This is probably one of the most common questions I get asked as a social media manager mentor. And of course, it makes sense that you need to know how much to charge, right? And there's not enough information out there to help you. You don't want to undercharge, and you don't want to run off your clients with like exorbitant pricing. So where's the balance? In this video, I'll be sharing my pricing techniques, a template / formula that would help you make sure you're charging the right amount, and some sample pricing and deliverables. Now, just to let you know that you're not alone, I'll show you my old rate sheet from when I started my agency 5 years ago, as long as you decide not to laugh at me, you guys. Anyways, before we go into exactly how to price, there are 3 things I always tell you to consider when deciding how much you should charge for your services. Number 1 is your experience and how tenured you are in the industry. The second is the results you have been able to deliver over time for your different clients. And number 3 is the expertise, the time, the labor of love that goes into the services that you offer. Here's how I like to think about it. The more experienced you are, the more deeper your understanding of social. The best social media managers have tried, failed, tested, experimented over time, and this has helped them to gain new knowledge. Theory is great, right? But practical is where the magic happens. Practical experience is where you hone in your strategy, is where you learn effective execution, is where you learn how to do things the right way and ultimately provide value to your clients. The way I create social media strategies now is not how I did in 2021, in 2021, 2019, or even 2023. So you can't expect me to charge what I charged then now. Secondly, the reason why I always hammer on results is that people, clients, everybody is drawn to what they see. A robust portfolio showcasing your past projects, the solid results you've delivered, that's your best friend, trust me. And adding numbers into those case studies will increase your bargaining power. And this helps like a smart client to know that if this social media manager has done it before, more than once, they will most likely be able to replicate the same results for me. Hence, they will pay you your asking price. Lastly, you need to know that some more services are more time consuming and pricier than the others based on, how much time, like I mentioned, or how much you paid to learn them. For example, a lot of agencies increased their pricing when reels were introduced because they were more time consuming. You needed to fine tune audio, edit videos, gain new skills that you probably did not have before. And this made a lot of people, increase their pricing and add like a certain amount of dollars. So you want to consider if your service and the time that goes into them warrant more money. All right. Now that all of that is clear, your pricing can either be value-based or hourly. For me, I always recommend value-based retainer type thing, right? Because when you charge hourly, it feels like you're ticking off a to-do list and that's what you're charging for. When what you're really charging for is your experience, your expertise, the things you know, and what you bring to the table. I always tell social media managers and even prospective clients that it's deeper than I'm posting 3 times or 4 times per week, because the work, the energy, the brain power that goes into those 3-4 posts is deeper than what everybody sees. So you want to make sure, number 1, that your pricing is value based. Please always focus on the value you're delivering, the ROI, and not just volume. Don't get caught up in the trap of pricing your services based on the number of posts or the things you have to do, because really, the true value lies in the strategic thinking, the creative content development, the analytics, all those little things that bring the results the client is looking for. So make sure that you're pricing based on the business outcomes that you want to drive. This is the major reason why our agency, we can charge a client $6,000 for just one channel and email marketing, because we're positioning value at the forefront. And I mean, that's nice, but I'll give you an example so you understand what I mean. Instead of you saying, oh, my services, includes 3 posts per week on this particular social media channel and stuff like that, right? And it costs 1,200. Instead, I will say our social media management services are designed to help you achieve your business goals, drive meaningful results. And I remember that based on the conversation we had, what you really wanted to do was increase brand awareness and drive website traffic and generate leads through social. So what I'm doing here is I'm speaking directly to their needs. I'm speaking their language and demonstrating that I know what they need and I can help them. Then I go on and say something like, so our approach involves developing a comprehensive strategy tailored to your needs, creating high quality content that resonates with your target audience, providing ongoing community management, inbound and outbound marketing, and consistently analyzing to optimize our results. So with this, we aim to deliver measurable results for you and for your business. The monthly investment for this is $3,500 and includes all the elements that I have mentioned. So see the difference between the first person and the second person. The conversation is not geared towards, oh, we're posting 4 times per week or posting 5 times per week, because it's more than that. You want to position results at the forefront. And eventually, deciding how many posts should go up will be your own decision as the expert. Based on your strategy, you will know that, oh, if we want to grow faster, we have to post more. If our aim is community engagement, we may not have to post more, but do more inbound and outbound. So that way, you're the one making that particular decision. The second thing is that you want to make sure your packages are tiered. Not all fingers are equal. Not everybody can afford the same thing. So make sure that your packages have like the lowest, the midpoint, and then the highest. I always recommend between 3 to 4 tiers. 3 is the sweet spot, 4 max. And that helps you not to have a blanket pricing, but you have a base rate, which I will explain further subsequently, and you work from that base rate. What this does is it allows your client to choose their level, their investment level, and it also gives you a range to work with. So the third thing that I think you need to know about your pricing, or I suggest regarding your pricing, is that it should be a retainer model. Charge a monthly flat fee that covers the agreed scope, the work, the deliverables that you are giving to this particular client. I also recommend that you have like 3 to 6 month contracts, so you're not renewing contracts every month, and this also helps you to have a solid income for the next few months. That way, you and the clients understands that, okay, they have dedicated support for this period, while you have forecasted revenue that would help you to manage your business effectively. Worthy of mention, some people have like project-based pricing, but this is best for like one-off projects. Maybe someone is launching something, or someone has an event and they want you to do social for it, or you're consulting for a particular project. So this has like clearly defined scope. It has a fixed price, and the cool thing about this is just make sure that both of you are clear and everybody's on the same page from the outset. That was a lot of information, but now that you know what to consider while pricing your services and the different pricing techniques, here is my proposed formula for making sure that you're charging your worth and it's worth your time. Okay, so this is the social media manager pricing model, and these are the things you want to consider. You want to consider the base rate. So I'll explain what that means: experience factor, the scope of work, and the value you're adding. As you can see, all of these are pretty similar to everything I have been talking about in the video. The base rate is literally the minimum amount that you need to charge to cover your expenses and your overhead. So this is it varies based on your location, your overhead cost. For me, my overhead is really high because I run an agency. But if you're just starting out and you're not paying freelancers, or you just use like the most affordable tools or even free versions of this, right, your base rate will be relatively lower. Now you can always research like different resources and platforms to help you find like an appropriate base rate in your area. So for example, if I'm a social media manager with I've been doing this for 3 to 4 years, right? Let's say my base rate is 500 based on my location. I live in Oklahoma, and based on my overhead. So maybe I just pay for Canva and a few other things. I don't have any freelancer on my team. I'm doing everything by myself. So my base rate is 500, just as an example. Okay. Then you consider your EF, which is the experience factor. So this accounts for your experience and expertise, which is what I have been literally hammering on. The more experience you have, the higher you can make, the higher your value proposition. What I've noticed, a lot of people that are just starting out want to um charge or value themselves like they have 8, 9, 10 years experience, and it doesn't work like that, right? Because experience is the best teacher. I know it sounds cliche, but legit, it is the fact. So you want to make sure you're adding a premium based on your experience, your expertise, results you have. And as a rule of thumb, I always say if you have like 0 to 1 year, right, the extra you should be adding should be somewhere between 0 to 500. So 100, 200, 350, whatever. 1 to 4 years should be 500 to 400, to 1,000, because you already have like a solid few months under your belt. And then 5 years plus should be 1,000 plus, So this way you already have a track record, you already know what you're doing. So, for example, if you have 3 years, because that's the example we're working with, someone with 3 years experience, you might had 750, because that's like in between this 500 and 1,000. So that would be perfect for you. But as always with pricing, there's a strategy, but it's solely based on your discretion and industry research. Number three is the scope of work. So this is what does the client need? How much time would go into what they need or delivering the results that they are looking for. So think of the services you might have to offer. Maybe you're doing content creation at Shedley, you're making a calendar, maybe you're directing shoots, videos, analytics. Because, for example, if a client needs like deep strategy, right, that we have to fix like every 3 months, or even to start working with them, we have to create this over over like two weeks. I would probably add more, right? For me personally, because of my experience, I charge almost triple, actually more than triple, but I charge way more than 400 for strategy. But if you have 3 year experience, this might just be like the extra 400 you're adding. That makes sense for you. Then your value, what value do you bring to the clients? What do they need, and how are you delivering that value? Think of the skills you have. For example, one of my USP is that a lot of social media managers are not great with email marketing, and I am. The agency is great with doing emails. Your USP might be you create fantastic videos. Think about those kind of things that other people don't have, and how much you would like to charge for it, and how it will benefit your clients. So, for example, if at some point you'll be able to increase brand awareness by 10%, and based on your client's industry, this is the value, you can think of, what's it called? Did they divide this, or the percentage of 10% is 1 to 50, and then you can always add this 200. So thinking about it, if I have like 3 to 4 years experience and my base rate is 500, my experience whatever is 750, the scope of work is 400 based on timing and whatever, and the value I'm adding is 1 to 50 plus this 200 based on my skills, I should be charging 3,1 per month for a client social. So this is, you don't have to think about is this for one channel, is this for two, and those are things you're considering, like the timing that you have to give into this project. So, for example, under the scope of work, you will know that that's where I'm thinking about time commitment. So if it's 2 channels, does this 400 work for me, or do I want to do 500? Do I want to do 6? Or do I want to reduce this because I'm not even sure of the quality of the work that I do and I'm still testing the waters? So in this particular example I just gave to you, this is a social media manager with 3 to 4 years experience, and the total that she or he should be charging should be 3,1 for the time commitments, the experience they have, their base rate, and stuff like that. So this pricing did not just fall into their lap or off the top of their head. They just came up with it. It's pricing based on solid factors. It's pricing they can stand behind. I'm really considering putting all of this into Excel so that it will be easier to calculate. And if you guys would like that, let me know in the comment section. Okay, great. Like I mentioned, this template will be in the description box, so you guys have access to it. I'm also working on like the Excel version, and you know how Excel works, like it makes it easier for you to put the numbers and then see the amounts. And if you would like that, let me know in the comments. Finally, because I promised, this was my agency's rate when we started 5 years ago. Super embarrassing, but I understand that, you know, I'm not where I used to be. And it just goes to show as well that if you're just starting out, if you're just beginning, you're not alone. Everybody started from somewhere. No man was born and then was tall. I don't remember that adage, but something like that. So, and you know, we went from charging 500 or 400, whatever is here, to nothing less than 4K per month now for full service social. So, you know, growth is possible if you stick to it. Some final thoughts though. You want to make sure you're researching market rates. So don't just copy what someone else is doing, what your friend is doing. Consider your own unique value and what you bring to the table. The second thing is please raise your rates gradually as you build your portfolio and increase your skills. Don't be afraid to negotiate and be willing to walk away if, you know, the pricing is not looking like what you need it to be. The last thing, please make sure that your pricing is written clearly for everybody to see, maybe in a contract, in a service agreement, in a scope of work. That way, no confusion, no miscommunication. Make sure that your terms are clear, when you want them to pay, how you want them to pay, how much they're paying, because you don't want people to owe you. And you know, that's something a lot of social media managers struggle with. Anyway, I hope this was helpful. Thank you for hanging with me. Don't forget to share, like, subscribe, and you know, send this video to someone you know it would be helpful to. Drop comments as well. Let me know what you think about it. Let me know if you have questions or other things you'd like me to chat about. Till next time, love and light.